the arguments of Sahajiyas. So Param Gurudev wrote that Prakashananda and Prabhupada are not identical, they are two separate persons. If you study the book called Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was enacting the pastime of being a householder, Mahaprabhu was absorbed in ecstasy. Mahaprabhu, when he was in Navadvip, used to come in the mood of Aishwarya Bhav, in the mood of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Being absorbed in the mood of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to proclaim that there is one Sahajiya, one Mayavadi residing in Kashi, and he is cutting my transcendental body into 1,000 pieces by accepting the doctrine of impersonalism and saying that I have no form or I am without any potency. So not accepting the transcendental body of Bhagavan, they consider Bhagavan to be shapeless, formless. So such Mayavadis are big offenders. So Prakashananda was a big offender. So therefore Mahaprabhu already declared that one Mayavadi is residing in Kashi. He is the king of all Mayavadis and is committing grievous offences towards my transcendental body. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he went to the South India, then he went to the state of Tamil Nadu. In the district of Srirangam, he met Prabhupada Saraswati Pad. Prabhupada Saraswati Pad was born in Sri Vaishnava family. His brother's name was Venkat Bhatta and Trimalla Bhatta. His nephew was Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Trimalla Bhatta, Venkat Bhatta and Prakashananda Saraswati, Prabhupada Saraswati, Prabhupada Saraswati Pad, they were in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. They were following Ramanuja Sampradaya. So Prabhupada Saraswati was when they saw the transcendental form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was celebrating, spending his 4 months of renunciation, 4 months of non-travelling, Chaturmasya, rainy seasons, he was spending in Srirangam. So every day Mahaprabhu used to narrate sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna to these 3 brothers, Prabhupada Saraswati, Trimalla Bhatta and Venkat Bhatta. He also spoke on the tattva of Rasa Leela. And then Mahaprabhu told them that you worship Lakshmi Narayan. He told that Narayan is very sweet, but Krishna is even sweeter. Narayan has 4 less qualities than Krishna. Krishna has 4 excess qualities: Rupa Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Prem Madhuri, Venu Madhuri. So Krishna plays very beautiful flute song which Narayan cannot. Krishna's love and affection for the gopis, Narayan cannot match. Krishna's pastimes, he cannot match. So in this way, Krishna is so much superior to Narayan. So even Lakshmi Devi, eternal consort of Narayan, she became attracted to see the beauty of Sri Krishna, and she did austerities in Belvan to obtain his lotus feet. So Prabhupada Saraswati Pad, he was a big scholar. South Indians, the South Indians are very scholarly and they have knowledge of scriptures. So then these 3 South Indian devotees, they asked Maharaj, they asked Mahaprabhu that why you are ridiculing our worshipable deities Lakshmi and Narayan. Siddhantvasta Abhedepi Shrisha Krishna Sarupayo Rasenat Krishyate Krishna Rupamesha Rasasthiti. That if you see difference between Krishna and Narayan, if you see difference between Ram and Krishna, then it's an offense. Actually, they are not different, only their moods are different. Same Radhika, in order to serve Krishna in Vaikuntha planet, she becomes Lakshmi. When Krishna becomes Narayan, Radhika becomes Lakshmi. If Krishna becomes Ram, then Radhika becomes Sita. If Krishna becomes Dwarkadish, then Radhika becomes Satyabhama. So, one Radharani is manifest in innumerable shapes of Lakshmis, in innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and serves innumerable manifestations of Krishna as Narayan, or Sridhar, or Vaman, and other Vaikuntha manifestations. So then Mahaprabhu said that if there is no difference between Lakshmi and Radhika, then why Lakshmi could not enter into Ras Leela and Radhika could enter Ras Leela? What is the reason? So Mahaprabhu told that Kaliya could get the foot dust of Krishna, he could get the footprint of Krishna. Lord Shiva could enter into Ras Leela, he could see the Ras Leela, but Lakshmi could not see the Ras Leela. What is the reason? Then Mahaprabhu showed the greatest limit of the love and affection between Radha and Krishna. Venkat Bhatta, Trimala Bhatta and Brahmana Saraswati Pad, they were already initiated in the Shri Vaishnava Sampradaya. They surrendered to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu and they began to serve Radha Govinda. The Param Gurudev says that. So Param Gurudev is asking a question. Prabodhana Saraswati was already a sannyasi. He was a Sri Vaishnava sannyasi. He was a Vaishnava sannyasi. Then all of a sudden, he went back to Kashi and became a Mayavadi sannyasi. Again and again, as per the desire of Mahaprabhu, again he became a devotee. This is actually cannot be understood. So when Mahaprabhu took sannyas at Katwa and he was walking towards Vrindavan Dham, on the way to Vrindavan, he met Prakashananda Saraswati, who was a Mayavadi sannyasi. So how can only one person be Prabhupada and Prakashananda? First he was Mayavadi, then he came into Shri Sampradaya and became a sannyasi, Shri Vaishnava Sampradaya sannyasi. Then again he left the Vaishnava Sampradaya, again he came back to become Mayavadi. This is not possible. There is not enough time for these activities. So giving so much logical arguments, Param Gurudev established that Prakashananda and Prabhupada are two separate persons. They are two separate persons. Both are recipients of Mahaprabhu's mercy, but they are not identical, they are separate. So we must give logic. One person is Mayavadi. One person was a worshipper of Lakshmi Narayan in Shri Sampradaya. Then he became a devotee of Radha Krishna and began to worship Radha Krishna with Madhurya conception. Then after starting to worship Radha Krishna in Madhurya conception according to Gaudiya Vaishnava conception, how can that person go to Kashi and become Mayavadi? Actually, who's Prabhupada Saraswati Pad? He is actually Tunga Vidya Sakhi. So there is Lita Vishakha, Tunga Vidya, Rangadevi, Champaklata, Indulekha. So many wonderful gopis are standing on both sides of Radha Govinda. They are the Prana Prashta Sakhis of Radhika. So among these Prana Sakhis of Radhika, Tunga Vidya Sakhi manifested in South India as Prabhupada Saraswati Pad. The books of Prabhupada Saraswati Pad are very wonderful. Especially, he has written very nice books in glorification of Mahaprabhu and in glorification of Radharani. Until and unless you study the book called Chaitanya Chandramrit, the nectar moon of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also Navadvip Shatak, the 100 verses glorifying the magnanimity of Navadvip Dham. If you don't study this, then you will not develop love and affection for Navadvip Dham. To the degree we develop attachment for the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to that degree we will develop the attachment for the lotus feet of Radharani. Once you dive in the Barkund Ghat in Navadvip, you will emerge at Keshi Ghat in Vrindavan. Because Mahaprabhu will not keep your love and affection in his pocket. He will transfer that love and affection to the service of Radha and Krishna. Radha Padamboja Sudhambu Rashi means the nectar of Radharani's lotus feet will start emanating in your heart to the degree you surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and call out his holy name of Gaurari. If you have worshipped Navadvip Dham, then already you have worshipped Vrindavan Dham. If you have worshipped the son of Jagannath Mishra, Sachidanandan Gaurahari, then you already worship Krishna Bhagavan. But if you don't worship Navadvip, if you don't surrender to Navadvip, if you don't surrender to Sachidanandan Gaurahari, then Vrindavan and Lord Krishna, Radha Krishna are very far away from you. One who has worshipped, those who have worshipped the 9 islands, Navadvip Dham, Radhavan, then they have certainly worshipped Vrindavan Dham. One may try to directly approach Vrindavan Dham or Krishna, but approaching Krishna directly or approaching Vrindavan Dham directly is not as productive as approaching Radha Krishna and Vrindavan Dham through the medium of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Navadvip Dham. Actually, if you worship Navadvip Dham, then already you are on the path of worshipping Vrindavan Dham. Because Vrindavan and Navadvip are non-different, except that Navadvip is nothing but Vrindavan with magnanimity aspect added to it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is nothing but Radha Krishna, but magnanimity aspect added to it. So there is more mercy there and more consideration of offenses are forgiven there more easily in Gaura conception. But that concession aspect is not in Krishna conception. So there is one and only one way of obtaining the lotus feet of Krishna. Surrender to Mahaprabhu, surrender to Mahaprabhu, surrender to Mahaprabhu. Call the name of Gaurahari, call the name of Gaurahari, call the name of Gaurahari. Worship Gaura, worship Gaura, worship Gaura. This is the only way to obtain the lotus feet of Krishna. Only way of obtaining the lotus feet of Radharani. Only by the mercy of Gaura and Navadvip Dham. If you take deep at the Barakuna Ghat in Ganga river, then you'll see that you are immersed in the Jamuna river at Keshi Ghat. Means you are being transferred automatically from Navadvip Dham to Vrindavan Dham. So you'll see that all our great acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, they took shelter of Navadvip Dham, Jiva Goswami Pad. They all, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, all the great associates of Mahaprabhu, they first took shelter of Navadvip Dham. And only by the mercy of Navadvip Dham, they received the mercy of Vrindavan Dham. So I am giving the evidence from the scripture to highlight the supreme magnanimity, kindness, mercifulness and compassion of the Navadvip Dham on the conditioned jivas. So as a practitioner, we are full of so many offenses. So in order to remove the offenses, there is only one way. We should stay in Navadvip Dham, call out the name of Gaurahari. We should call out the merciful names of Nitai Chaitanya and stay in the Navadvip Dham. Automatically, the Krishna's name will consider offenses. Although you may chant the name of Krishna for eternality, you will never get Krishna Prem. But there is no such consideration in the holy names of Gaur and Nityananda. If you simply call out Ha Gaur, Ha Nitai, immediately Prem will come in your heart and tears will start flow from your eyes profusely. So there are 10 offenses in chanting of the holy name of Sri Krishna. Those 10 offenses are not considered in the chanting the magnanimous names of Gaur Nityananda. As soon as someone raises his hand and calls out Ha Gaur, Ha Nitai, immediately immaculate Krishna Prem starts to flow in their heart like the Ganga river. So when will I become enmaddened in love of Gaur Nitai and weep and roll in the dust on the bank of Ganga, calling out Ha Gaur, Ha Nitai. So all the offenders, Brahma, Indra, all the offenders in Vrindavan Dham, where did they go? They went to Gaur Dham, and going to Gaur Dham, Godram Deep, they did austerities and they asked forgiveness, and all their offenses were forgiven. So therefore it is most important for us to take shelter of Gaurasundar and his transcendental abode Navadvip Dham. So Purandara Saraswati Pad has shown all these conceptions in his book called Chaitanya Chandramrut, Navadip Dham Shatak, and Vrindavan Mahimamrut. So many other speakers will be. So Pravananda Saraswati Pada, he also wrote a book called Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. So the transcendental moods of a maid servant manifested in the heart of Pravananda Saraswati Pada. So more than 300 verses, 304 verses to be precise, are present in Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. Is simply glorifying the lotus feet of Radharani. Starting from the toe of Radharani till the head of Radharani, all the limbs of Radharani are described in elaborate description, a very immaculate description. Even Brahma, Shuka, Shiva, Narad, Kumaras, they cannot even get a glimpse of the semblance of the ray emanating from the toenail of Radharani, even in their deepest meditation. So you can see how rare is to obtain the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Krishna himself bathes in Radha Kund 3 times, 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the noon, and 6 o'clock in the evening. At the time of dawn, dusk, and noon, Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself bathes in Radha Kunda to get the mercy of Radharani. So this is the glories of even Brahma is hankering for the foot dust of Radharani, but he is unable to get the foot dust of Radharani very easily. Pravananda Saraswati Pad in Radha Sudhanidhi in a humble condition is telling that the direction in which Radharani is standing and the beautiful breeze of Vrindavan blowing and touching the body of Radharani, her clothes, is entering the nostrils of Krishna. When Krishna becomes so enmaddened and falls unconscious, smelling the fragrance of Radharani's body that is carried by the fragrance, by that breeze, and he offers obeisances to that direction when he comes back to consciousness. So Radharani's limbs are very fragrant, like Parijat flower, like lotuses, like million times more fragrant than Parijat and lotus flowers. So Krishna, when he smells the fragrance of Radhika's body, which is carried by the breeze, then he says, "Oh breeze, oh wind, oh Pavan Dev, oh wind god, your life is successful because you have touched the body of Radharani. You have touched the clothes of Radharani and you have brought forth this wonderful fragrance." Radharani is in a sulky mood. So I am even not able to meet her, I am not able to talk to her, I am not able to touch her, I am not able to even see her because she is so sulky. But oh wind god, you easily went to the sulky Radhika who is observing her pick, and you are touching her body and bringing her bodily fragrance to me. So I offer Dandat Pranams to the direction from where you are blowing. I offer Dandat Pranams to the direction of Radha Kund where Radharani is standing in Man, in her Kunja. My Dandat Pranams to that direction. So Pravananda Saraswati Pad is speaking this. I want to become a broomstick. I don't want to become full broom, just a stick of the broom of Seva Kunj, where Radha Krishna are performing sweet pastimes, where in the kunjas in which Radha Krishna perform pastimes. Krishna not only surrenders to the lotus feet of Radhika, he falls down at the feet of the Manjaris who are guarding the entrance of Seva Kunja Niduvan, the Nikunja, where the Manjaris are standing with the sticks which are covered by flowers in their hand. So flower sticks are in the hands of Manjaris, and they tell Krishna, don't enter this Kunja. Radharani is in real man. She doesn't want to see anything black. Then what Krishna will do? He will fall down at the feet of Rup Manjari, Rati Manjari, and all the Manjaris and pray to them, please let me enter into the Kunja of Radharani. Let me behold Radharani. I know she is in Man, but let me ask forgiveness. So So I want to become a stick that sweeps such brooms, sweeps some kunjas. We should also sit down with Rasika Vaishnavas. We should start to study these books. Therefore, Raghunath Goswami says that without worshipping the lotus feet of Radharani, until and unless one takes shelter of this Vrindavan Dham, which is decorated by the footprints of Radharani, if someone wants to test the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna, if someone wants to get an entry into the conjugal mellow of Radha Krishna, then follow 3 regulations. Take shelter of Vrindavan Dham. Those who are not taking shelter of Vrindavan Dham, they will never be able to enter into the conjugal mellow. Without worshipping the lotus feet of Radharani, without taking shelter of Vrindavan Dham, we should take shelter of the lotus feet of Radharani. Alongside, we must take shelter of the Vrindavan Dham. And the third is Asambhashyatat Bhava Gambhira Chittan. We must take shelter of the Rasik Vaishnavas who are relishing these transcendental mellows. One should discuss Hari Katha, Radha Katha, Gaur Katha with such Rasik Vaishnavas. Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami were sitting at Ter Kadam and they were discussing such exalted Manjari Katha, what happened in the Nikunja. To hear that Nikunja Katha spoken by these 2 Manjaris, Rup Manjari and Lavang Manjari, Radharani herself dressed like a cowherd girl, and simple cowherd girl, and she brought ingredients for making sweet rice like basmati rice, milk and sugar and cardamom, and she brought this so that she can cook sweet rice for these manjaris and hear their harikatha, what happens when Radha Krishna fall unconscious due to their ecstatic love and affection in the kunja. Pavane bhyo, Vaishnav bhyo.